Welcome to round 4 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of December 16th. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
As moms of teens and young adults, we've survived those little kid days, yet we're still rethinking the decisions we've made all through our kids' lives and worrying about what's going on right now. Today is Thursday, which means it's time to give in to our obsessing about parenting details, big and small, like what we were obsessed with as kids. So, a few weeks ago on Young House Love Has a Podcast, John and Sherry talked about this rule of age 10, which I think Sherry read about in Reader's Digest, which she has discovered as if like she never heard of it before, and she loves it, which makes me laugh. But anyway, this rule of age 10 is this theory that what you're obsessed with at age 10 can give you a clue as to, you know, what your future career should be, or, you know, what are you passionate about that you could turn into a career. So I feel like I can't specifically remember, but I do have, so when I got married, my mom made this huge photo album for me, actually 2 of them. And chronological order, you know, it started with like pictures of my grandparents and my parents and myself as a baby and all through high school and college and everything. But at the end, she did a section that wasn't chronological, but it was just pictures from my entire life of me reading books.
Wow.
Because she found so many. So I guess that is what I was obsessed with at age 10, was reading. And you could say that that is a big part of my career, I would say. As an editor, I do read for a living. So I guess it came true in my case. And so I wanted to hear about how it played out for you. So do you remember your obsession at age 10, and do you agree that it shows what your life is like now?
Do you remember what you were obsessed with at age 10, Nicole?
Yes, and actually accurately predicted what I ended up doing is because we love to play school. Our friends, and of course I had to be the teacher. So that was my big, and I loved school, and I loved helping the teachers, and then my friends and I would always play teacher, or I'd be playing, or I'd pretend to be teacher. I'd practice my cursive handwriting and pretend I was writing on the board, and so I was very much, I was doing all the helper things around school, and it was kind of my big thing was, and I liked reading, so I guess that was also part of it too. Yeah. But I think I was pretty much destined to be a teacher from an early age. So, yeah.
I tried to think if I was obsessed with anything at age 10. I mean, I think I always knew I was going to be a writer. That was always my thing. I would, just write for fun. Maybe around age 10 was when my mom and I would go to visit my grandparents every other year. And one year while I was there, my grandmother had all these soap opera magazines. And I was reading them, and then I was like writing my own soap opera.
Oh, there you go.
So I guess I was obsessed with soap operas for a while, but I was also, obsessed with writing, and always, I wrote poems when I was in elementary school, and that was always my superpower in school, was being able to write stuff. I could write my papers the night before and get good grades on them, and not have to sweat over it too much. And so, I mean, I think that was probably as much of an obsession as I had. I don't know if I thought of it as an obsession in the same way like my son is obsessed with keys and collecting keys. I don't know if I had anything like that. But certainly, and, reading also. I loved to read. And I guess as with you guys, that's something that's paid off in later life. I also took dance classes quite a lot, which certainly is something that resoundingly did not carry over to this time in my life.
Except for the part about how you podcast about dance.
There you
shows.
go. Yes, I bring that great knowledge from my tap and jazz and ballet classes in elementary school to my critiques of So You Think You Can Dance and Dancing with the Stars.
I spent a lot of time figure skating when I was 10, but that certainly hasn't done anything for me.
Wow.
Except I enjoy watching Josie's synchronized skating performances.
Right.
Yes.
You go back and think of all those things that we spent so much time and our parents spent so much money on and think, was that really necessary? Would there have been a better use of that?
Right.
Time and money?
But I mean, you can't say no to your kids' passions, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, my kids really didn't have, other than my son and Keys, I don't think my daughter necessarily had any passions of her own. I would just keep trying to find it. How about this? Is this your passion? Here, take classes in this for a year and a half and see how you're doing. And, she would happily do it, but it was never anything that stuck.
Yeah.
But you guys collect things when you were kids? Did you have like that sort of obsession?
I collected like magazines.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Tiger
I had
Beat.
every
Magazines.
17 magazine, which I know Terry has opinions.
Yes, well, I was, obsessed with it up to the point where it cruelly betrayed me.
Right. Well, I saved them all, and I would just go back and read the old ones over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the year Princess Diana got married, so I was very obsessed with that.
Oh, yeah.
For me, that was the year. So I was extremely obsessed with Princess Diana, and I would get magazines and cut pictures of her out on my wall, and
Wow.
that was very much a thing when I was around 10. So
Not sure how that plays out in today's.
And today you have a podcast about royalty. No, wait.
No, actually.
But you still have opinions.
Yeah.
Yes. Now
Yes,
you just
I do
have opinions about Meghan Markle.
I have
wedding.
strong opinions about Meghan Markle.
Aw.
Yeah.
I can barely remember age 10. What grade is that?
Like 4th, 5th.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pretty obnoxious in those years. I was obsessed with me, and that has paid off well. Because here I still am.
It's all about me.
Very important in my life.
I don't know what else I was obsessed with. Rob Lowe. I was obsessed with Rob Lowe. And now I follow him on Instagram.
When was like the Partridge Family on? I was pretty obsessed with the Partridge Family.
Oh, yeah. And Danny, who was
Danny Bonaducci.
But who
That
was the
my
other
crush.
one? Who was the heartthrob?
David Cassidy?
Yes.
David Cassidy. Yeah, no, I had no use for him. I wanted the little redhead.
You want
I was very, very specific on that. It would have been 1969. That would have been about the right time, right?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. All back in those days.
And I don't know. I mean, I guess it's obviously still TBD for my kids, but I mean, my son has been consistently interested in, maybe not to the point of obsession, but very interested in airplanes and aviation since he was
right.
2, so that's started before he was 10 and continued to this present day. So
that's fun to have something like that that can definitely turn into a career for him.
Yeah.
I kept thinking my son would want to be a locksmith or a car salesman, but that has not happened. He has a very thick line between his hobby and his life.
Right. He's not interested in sullying his love with...
Start a business where you could get keys for other kids. He's like, no.
Doesn't want to do it.
Just want to buy keys for myself.
He's keeping it separate. So. He actually has a very healthy work-life balance.
Absolutely. Sometimes the rule of age 10 works in your life, and sometimes you just say, you know what? Yeah. This is separate. Trying to think if I did anything podcast related.
I was just going to say, I certainly wasn't.
I just made people sit down and listen to me talk one-on-one.
Likewise. Hello. Now you're going to sit there and I'm going to tell you what to do and how to feel.
Yeah.
Respond.
I put on little plays and things like that.
And you're going to listen and not talk back.
That's just like podcasting.
Exactly. So, hey, maybe the rule of age 10 is, maybe
there you go.
Very accurate. I think we've all just proved that it is quite accurate, actually.
Absolutely.
Anyway, that's it for today's Round 4. Tune in tomorrow when we'll share our roundabout roundup of things we've been using or enjoying lately that we think deserve a shout out. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.